Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you. Today is Friday. This is your Aura dab of the day. Hello, everybody. Well, first thing I want to do is give a shout out to my lovely bride, Mrs. Stoner. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday, honey. And I want to move into another topic before I get to today's topic. Folks out there, please stay calm with what's going on with the financial situation in the world right now and with the coronavirus. We don't need more stress in our lives. Stress means more pain. Please try to stay calm. Try not to drive yourselves crazy. Okay? Easier said than done, right? Let's get to today's topic because it's a serious one. It's been happening to me, so I want to share it with you all and we can figure ways to work around it. It's about pain. And it's about pain that doesn't relent. So you're in pain, which is the brick wall, and you want to solve the pain. So you go to that brick wall and you push through that brick wall, just like I've talked about many times. But the pain is still there, and it's getting worse. So you're in quicksand on the other side of the brick wall. You pull yourself to safety with a rope or whatever you see, a vine, as you've seen Tarzan do 1,000 times, only to be confronted by two hungry, giant Bengal tigers. You pull out your knife from your sheath next to your loincloth, and you defeat the two tigers. You're a little bloody, but you made it. Only to find out that the white hunters are coming after you now. Remember, you're Tarzan. And they're coming after you with these huge elephant guns that can take a rhino or an elephant down in one shot. They're missing you, but they're coming after you. How do we live in a world where every time we get through one thing, we're confronted by another? Now, you could argue, hey, Senior Stoner, that's life. Not when it comes to pain. It's not the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be that your back hurts so much you can't walk, and then when your back eases up, your IBS hurts so much you can't eat, and then when that eases up, your hemorrhoids or whatever else you have, undiscussable items, hurt, you can't sit, and then your back hurts again, you can't stand, and other things come in there in between, and what happens is the human mind and body are really funny. They go to, did you ever hear the old saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease? The mind and the body are funny. They go where the pain is the greatest, or the perception of the pain is the greatest. That's where they go. And that's where they focus. You focus on that pain, that pain, that pain. When that pain eases, they go to the next greatest pain, your mind and your body, and focus on that. The challenge is that if it's like going down a stair where you get down another stair, you go down another stair, another stair, another stair, another stair. Every time you go down the stair or up a stair, you're in another type of pain. That's just insane. Well, guess what? My life's become insane, and I don't know quite what to do about it. My standard methodology is to do that, is to go one stair to the next stair, to the next stair, to the next stair. But usually, historically, what I've been able to do is go from the back pain to no pain, or to less pain for a little bit of time. And right now I'm getting no breaks. And it's very unsettling for me. Much more unsettling than the money. It's unsettling that I can't come out of the wall into a place of peace. That I can't climb out of the quicksand to a place of safety. That I can't kill the tigers and then have no more animals after me. What happens to people like us, I think, here's a good analogy. What happens to people like us is we are on a spinner, and it's a bad spinner, and it keeps spinning. So we are unable in most cases to grab what's supposed to be grabbed because we see it spinning, grab it, and by the time we grab it, it's moved. I'm going for the bucket. Watch. I see it's coming around. I missed it. Okay, hold on. It's there. I see it. I'm going to plan for it. It's coming, it's coming. I missed it. I got in front of it. It's not as easy as people talk about. You can talk about it all day long. It's not as easy to implement what we talk about. So that's the challenge, I think, that I'm talking about here. I'm talking about implementation, not discussion. How do we move it from discussion to implementation without that other thing happening? I don't think it's possible in the current state of affairs. So I think what has to happen is you have to have preparation on your side. What I mean by that, they didn't know the coronavirus was coming to America before it was really known that it was out there. But it maybe, if we had cleanliness procedures that were different, that were more extensive, maybe we could have prevented it better. I don't know. But by cleanliness, all I'm talking about is people more washing your hands, people more not coughing to other people. Me thinking that this would be better is analogous to what we're going through with our bodies. We need to come up with some good prophylactic things. And here's what I mean. Let's say you're falling down that stair, and you think you're through that stair and you're out and you're fine, but you're not. You're into the next problem on the next stair. How about setting some parameters? What do I mean by that? Most of these things happen to us when we're in motion. Think about it. They do. Whether it's getting up to get a piece of paper in the kitchen, or whether it's going somewhere, it's usually because of motion. How about putting a barrier on motion? How about saying to yourself when this erupts, you know what? Sugar can do the treadmill downstairs instead of walking. How about Mrs. Stoner can go pick a few things up for us today? I can't get to the store. How about I call the doctor and say, I just can't make it today if it's a non-urgent matter. All these are techniques, nothing more than techniques that you would apply when facing these pains that come, number one, randomly, number two, intensely, and number three, that move to a second or a third pain. So let's try to take better care of ourselves. One of the things I think adult human beings do is we tend to want to take care of our loved ones. I worked many years longer than I should have. I should have popped out on this. Just so you guys know, I was out on disability in the 90s twice for my back and went back to work twice. I should have gone out on disability earlier and not chased the money. I had a certain dollar figure in mind I needed for our family, so I kept working with the fentanyl patches. I kept working with the morphine. It was horrible. What I would have done, what I could have done, what I should have done if I wasn't chasing that, is set parameters around myself that if it hurt to that level, all changes. You don't do other things. If it hurt to this level, it all changes. You do not do certain things. So what we can do now possibly, is establish nice criteria that if we qualify by having X amount of pain, certain intensity, it triggers instant limitation. Instant limitation. I'll say it again. It triggers instant limitation. Adjustments need to be made. But you have to have the plan ahead of time. You can't react spontaneously in the heat of battle. Oh, it won't work. You have to have it kind of set up so that, all right, situation 1A is happening. This is what I need to do now immediately. Situation 3C is happening. This is what I need to do immediately. You want to think about as many combinations and permutations of horrible things as you can so that you have some type of contingency plan. They talk about it all the time. Let me ask you a question. What airplane doesn't have a safety system? What boat, what train, what car? They're all built for safety redundancy systems because human beings are flawable. We're flawed. So we have to have contingency systems for ourselves. That's the bottom line here. We must build contingency systems so that if everything we walk into is a piece of shit, it's 5 pieces of shit, and it's number C, we have a plan for 5 shits in a C. I'm not kidding. It's complicated. It's not easy. It can be started with 1 piece of paper and 1 line. Just the first thing. Got to start somewhere. We got to get parameters around ourselves so we are not constantly hurting ourselves. We're jumping out of the fire into the frying pan, and I don't think we have to. Matter of fact, I'm convinced that we don't have to do it this way. I'm convinced there are better ways. We have to think before we move because we are what we are. Normal people don't have to run around and do whatever the hell they want. We have to put controls on ourselves so things do not get out of control. That is the bottom line. Let's have a nice Oura dab of banana sherbet sativa today before I go out for lunch with Mrs. Stoner. Cheers. Here we go. Better heat up a little bit. But do that for yourselves. Put governor on yourself. Put parameters on yourself. If it happens, if the extent is so severe, you make that change. If it happens and the extent is so severe in the other direction, you make that change. But you won't be able to make any if you don't think about it in advance. You're only going to go where the spontaneous bullshit takes us, where the pain takes us. Cheers, and get that dab train rolling. Well, I have figured out how to use the Oura. It's in the rotation now. Everybody, please have a nice Friday. Keep the pain to a minimum. Try to get a plan. Try to set some parameters for yourself. You're the only one that can do it for yourself. Cheers out there.